only this is it. Drink up, get lit. Hey, one night only, this is it. I like that. Drink up, get lit. Hey, hey, hey. Woo. One night only, this is it. Drink up, get lit. Hey, who tryna match me for the weekend? Hey, let's have a party for the weekend. Hey. One night only, this is it. Woo. Drink up, get lit. Hey, who tryna match me for the weekend? Let's have a party for the weekend. First thing first, hit up everybody. Tell them it's a party my way, bring everybody. Leave the drama at home, we don't need that. Too many females in here not to notice them. So get your drink on, get your boogie on. If you brought your own, roll up and smoke on. High times, good vibes, we gon' show out tonight. So come through, play spades if you want to. Turn the music up louder, it's on you. Two-stepping, Millie rocking, they all swagging. Look what happened, I got them dancing, they all laughing. They all showing love, no hate though. All day, you know my name though. Cups in the air while you pour it up. Watch y'all turn it up. One night only, this is it. Drink up, get lit. Hey, who tryna match me for the weekend? Hey, let's have a party for the weekend. Hey, one night only, this is it. Drink up, get lit. Hey, who tryna match me for the weekend? Let's have a party for the weekend. One night only, this is it. Drink up, get lit. One night only, this is it. Drink up, get lit. Hey, hey. Woo. One night only, this is it. Drink up, get lit. Hey, who tryna match me for the weekend? Hey, let's have a party for the weekend. One night only, this is it. Drink up, get lit. Hey, who tryna match me for the weekend? Let's have a party for the weekend. One night only, this is it. Drink up, get lit. Hey, one night only, this is it. I like that. Drink up, get lit. Hey, hey, hey. Woo. One night only, this is it. Drink up, get lit. Hey, who tryna match me for the weekend? Hey, let's have a party for the weekend. One night only, this is it. Drink up, get lit. Hey, who tryna match me for the weekend? Let's have a party for the weekend. First thing first, hit up everybody. Tell them it's a party my way, bring everybody. Leave the drama at home, we don't need that. Too many females in here not to notice them. So get your drink on, get your boogie on. If you brought your own, roll up and smoke on. High times, good vibes, we gon' show out tonight. So come through, play spades if you want to. Turn the music up louder, it's on you. Two-stepping, Millie rocking, they all swagging. Look what happened, I got them dancing, they all laughing. They all showing love, no hate though. All day, you know my name though. Cups in the air while you pour it up. Watch y'all turn it up. One night only, this is it. Drink up, get lit. Hey, who tryna match me for the weekend? Hey, let's have a party for the weekend. One night only, this is it. Drink up, get lit. Hey, who tryna match me for the weekend? Let's have a party for the weekend. One night only, this is it. Drink up, get lit. One night. Drink up, get lit. Hey, who tryna match me for the weekend? Hey, let's have a party for the weekend. One night only, this is it. Drink up, get lit. Hey, who tryna match me for the weekend? Let's have a party for the weekend.
Crazy.
P-H-E-N-T.
That's my ish.
I was gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children. Praise be to Allah.
17-5, that's why I run the city. You don't spend enough to even get with me. Plug, tell me, take that, the old ditty. Get rich, die for it, old fitty. White girl pure, that's that old Britney. Had them fiends looking like the old Whitney. To all you funny niggas, ain't no joking with me. Lost some day ones, wish they coasted with me. I get his shit up if they free send me. Miss my nigga, got his soul with me. Feds throwing bows like them old Grizzlies. Tell them watch me from the Staples, I'm supporting busy. 302 can thank me later, that's just word to Drizzy. First night in space, boy, I blew your whole kitty. I'm really litty, blew your wheel, getting tipsy. Got your bitch and her bitch all screaming 50. Shot us, nigga.
I don't care about living or dying. I'm a dysfunctional motherfucker. I want to blaze. Yeah, Reno's got, they can keep their title. I don't want their title. I want to strip them of their fucking health.
We the champs like Pippen, like Mike, right? Still get a couple bands on a light night. Yeah, rap cool, but the work kept the kids good. Kept the milk, kept the bread, kept the fridge good. Niggas talking, niggas gossip, what your bag like? What your re-up, what your stash, what your grab like? I'm on another flight seat reclining on them. You still on that corner pushing dimes on them. Even back then I moved some nines on them. Cook it up, brung it to your steps, Papa John's on them. To the point the judge had to put some time on them. I ain't fold 10 toes, I did mine on them. And yeah, I got bars, but I got a line. I can't write a hook, but I can cook a 9. And I can get it going before the shit dry. Just put it in the bag and let that shit fly.
Cause I'm in pain. I want them to see pain. I want their kids to see pain. Let me do it. I want his kids to, oh, daddy, are you okay, daddy? I don't care about them because they don't care about me and my kids.
Road runner, stay by myself, I'm my own gunner. Gotta buy 100 or more for this phone number. Give a chick all of this dick, I'm a known plumber. If you love her, don't ever tell me that you don't want her. I seen your bitty, the demon kitty, she seeming pretty. I pick her up and she swallow all of the semen in me. Cause a man probably in for a Nina with me. Gave him enough time, I was lenient with him. No excuse, I got bills, I got kids too. Now I want all mine and his too. Fuck the cops, been to jail and I slid.
What you waiting for? Tune in to my Q&A interview series, Questions by Maybach Mel. You never know who my special guest may be. So subscribe to my channel at Maybach Mel 1804.
Happy. Ooh, hold on. What is going on? On here. Hello. I'm sorry, fam. Sorry. Apologies. This is one of those days for me where I'm a little bit lagging. But you know what? Consistency is key. So I had to show up on this good Saturday for this 12 p.m. ish show. Um, what you heard was an echo earlier, so please excuse me. I had multiple computers on doing my thing. If you know me personally, then you know that I'm always working. So uh the grind. So how are y'all doing? If you're looking at me right now, we are on my brand wall where I share everything and get that out the way before we actually get to the topics. If you were tuned in and this is your first time, my name is Peach. Welcome to the 12 p.m. ish show. What we'll be discussing is, what's going on with our kids. That's the topic. What the fuck is going on? What's happening with them? Why is all of this stuff going on? Is it the vaccinations? Is it the food? Is it the way we're raising them? We're just gonna, take a look at some of these top news stories that's happening, and I hope that it's very informative to you. I know for me, with my friend sharing, it was informative um for myself, and it just had me wondering what the is going on with our kids or whatever. All right, so let's talk about what's on this brand wall. If you look above me, of course I asked you how was your week. Feel free to put it in the chat. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know how your week was. I'm gonna go ahead and share my week. It was very frustrating. um I am often accused of always trying to assist and save the world. And this week, me assisting and saving the world kind of backfired on me. And I was very angry that I didn't take the advice that was given to me. And it's very hard because I always want to help, but at some point I got to realize, this is the boundary and this is as far as I can go without harming or disappointing myself. Um, yeah, so that's how my week went. So I'm just checking in with myself to say, listen, sis, you got to get to a point where you were actually helping but not putting yourself in harm. And I really, like I said, truly don't know how that would go because I'm still trying to master that piece of myself because I'm a natural helper. And so to take that out of myself, I would have to literally change that. And I'm not too sure if I'm ready to let that part of myself go because I feel like in the times that we are in, we need to be helping one another. So I'll let y'all know as I progress into my journey on this thing called life. As I always say to you, I am almost halfway 100, and yeah, it's a lot of things that you kind of mull over and think, and you definitely try to make more improvements than you would have as a younger person. And speaking of halfway 100, right? I am a little sluggish. My body is reminding me that I'm halfway 100. So, when that happens, you have to make some several life decisions as to, depending on how strenuous your career is, you might have to make some changes there. Um, Depending on how your home is, you might have to go from a um what is it, a two-floor home to just a rancher. So just a lot of things to consider. So but that is how my week was. Please feel free to drop yours in the comment section. Please feel free to after the show is over, share how your week is in the comment section, and hopefully I'll read it and I can just respond. So the second thing that you see on here is my actual streaming schedule. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I love streaming shows. If you have a show idea, hit me up at Pierce at peachent.com. I stream shows for nonprofits. I stream shows, just personal shows, but everything about me is about uplifting and helping people, getting knowledge to you. So Yes, if you're interested in streaming, Pierce at peachent.com. But on Tuesdays, my nonprofit, I stream a nonprofit show called LGBTQ Plus in Black. Yes, in Black, where we discuss all issues about the community, surrounding the community. We have allies that tune in. Allies, you are welcome, which is friends of the community. You come in and you can ask questions, or you might be asked to actually host the show, to which we're working on getting allies more involved. So it's an interesting show. You learn a lot. Um, and I really enjoy streaming that show. Now on Thursdays is the Uphill Battle. That's a political show hosted by Dion and his son. Very interested, very informative. If you're not a person that's into politics, but you would love to know more about what's going on, because you truly probably don't even understand what's happening. If you want it in layman's terms, you want to watch the Uphill Battle. You'll get the information that's needed, and you can also ask questions. Keep in mind, some of these shows allow you to actually cam up or not cam up and be a part of the show. Now, Friday is Beyond the Mind. That's hosted by Talib and Sheffrin, and it's a wonderful show. It actually teaches you methods on how to improve yourself. It's about self improvement using different modalities such as hypnotherapy and several other techniques. So you might want to tune into that at 8 p.m. on Fridays. It's an awesome show. I have seen testimonies of people that actually benefited from it. So, and I myself am utilizing the services. So, depending on what Talib's schedule is or how he's framing the show, maybe you'll get to see one of my sessions. I don't mind. But that's Beyond the Minds on Friday, hosted by Talib and Sheffrin. You will definitely enjoy it. And then Saturday, which is right now, you're watching a 12 p.m. check-in, which is with me, your host, Peach, the serial entrepreneur. All right. So now I'm not sure if it's on your right or left, but it's on my left. At the bottom, I'm going to skip over the music part and come back to that. So you see where it says get inspired by female entrepreneurs. Well, if you don't know, in addition to me being the founder of a LGBTQ plus nonprofit, which is which is IME Inc. And you can find that on all platforms, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. I also founded a nonprofit maybe 2, 3 years ago. We haven't had in-person events yet, but it's coming. The House of Peach, or Hop. Now with Hop, it's another one of my faves, and the reason why I love it so much. Shout out to April and Morgan and all the people that has been involved in building Hop. We have several shows that's just about helping women become their very best self. I'm hoping to get more of the shows to be resumed, but for right now I have a surprise that I like to share today. I'm bringing back Hop the series. Now, it was initially hosted by April and Morgan, but I feel like I need to be more a part of my vision. So I will be hosting Hop the series. And in this show, I will be bringing some of the most fabulous, down to earth, tangible women to you, sharing their stories about how they became who they are. And hopefully, we can get them to commit to having workshops to help you become the very best you, female or male. It doesn't matter. I know it's centered on women, but I would love for you to just tune in. Right now, I'm looking at streaming Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Depending on the ladies as I get them booked. And I'm looking at this show starting back at the end of June. So that is Hop, the series. You'll see a commercial later on in the show. Now, at the top of me, it says get your music played. Now, all of my shows that I stream, because I executive produce multiple shows that stream, they may not stream on the pages that you are on, but they definitely all stream um on my YouTube at Peach ENT Brands. And this is where, we put the music selections, indie music. I prefer videos. But if you have an MP3 and you can just put a picture or some type of cover art, that'll be fine. And I can add you into the show. I'm always about helping the little guy, which is myself and others, get seen by a broader audience. So yeah, that is, what I'm doing. And if you would like to submit music, submit it to music@peachent.com. Let me see if I could put it on the screen. Music@peachent.com. Thank you to everyone who has submitted music. I have received it. Thank you. I just got to incorporate it into the shows. Now, one other show I did not mention that's not on my schedule is the Peach Radio Show. It is streamed every Sunday from 12 to 2 p.m. on In the Mix Radio. That's hosted by myself. I talk about current news. I talk about self improvement, which is checking in with yourself. I give you fun tips and facts. Also, I play indie music throughout the show. So, shout out to the indie artists. I do need your music. And it's both MP3 on the radio, and then I'll upload the actual videos, which is MP4s on my social media pages. So, I have a lot of things that I'm doing. So please try to keep up if you're interested in what I'm doing, because it's going to be a fab year. This year is starting to become busy and fabulous, but by next year, everything is going to be popping, right? It's cruises coming up. It's just so much stuff coming. So just stay tuned with Peachy and T, IME Inc and the House of Peach. Yeah, we got shit going on. It's going. It's fabulous. Keep up with us. All right. And if you're interested in being interviewed on any of these shows, go to peachent.com. I have my calendar up there. You could just schedule. We could get you onto the shows. If you're a female entrepreneur, get over to houseofpeach.org. The calendar is already up there. Schedule your interview and let's chat. Now, when I say entrepreneurs, I'm gonna tell you what I'm looking for House of Peach. Entrepreneurs, right? Female entrepreneurs. I don't care how small your business is, because the premise of the show is to reach the younger you. Like if you are like me and you grew up in the inner city, like in an urban area, or in the hood, we generally don't have too many role models that that can help us, that gives us access to information, right? So I'm hoping that on Hop we can provide that. So maybe I'm in the hood, little peach, and I have only a few bucks, and I'm trying to figure out a way out, or I'm trying to figure out who I'm gonna become, but I really don't have money for college. This is where you come in. Maybe I could intern under you. Maybe you have a little hot dog cart and you can tell me how to do that. Maybe that's my start. Maybe you cook meals out of your home and you turned it into a business. Maybe I can intern with you. Maybe you can teach me that. Maybe I can hear your story. So all I'm trying to say is there is not one business that's too small. I would prefer to have the average everyday entrepreneur pop on this show, because it's much more relatable than the millionaire entrepreneur. And I'm tuning in from the hood, and you just might seem too unattainable. That goal may be too unattainable for me right now, and I may not be able to may not be, interested. So yeah, I just prefer the average ordinary entrepreneur. So if you're interested in coming on, go to houseofpeach.org, schedule your interview, and let's chat. And as far as the interviews on the Peach Radio Show, I'm accepting artists, anyone, male, female, with a phenomenal story that's impactful. It doesn't even have to be about business. It could be about, you getting shot and you just changed your whole life around. Or one day I woke up and I decided to leave my state and hitchhike to another one, and I have a whole better life. I'm just looking for impactful, positive stories that can help people, because you never know what someone's situation is, and how your story can actually impact them and get them forward moving. So yeah, tap in with me. I'm doing a lot of different things. So that's essentially my brand wall, right? So I'm going to get into today's topic, which is, let me get it up here. Let me get the topic up here. The topic is, what the F is wrong with our kids, right? What the F is wrong with them? What's going on with our children? What's happening? Because it's so much, like, it's to the point where I don't know about you, but I am actually scared to look at the damn news, right? Because when I do turn it on, it seems like I'm going to find out something even more crazier than the last time I turned on the news. These stories are so heart-wrenching. And I'm a child from the 70s, and I feel like we grew up sort of like a pseudo village. So when something happens to one child or a story, it's really impactful. It seems to hit harder. So I still have that village mentality. So when I turn on the news and I see these things, I'm hurt. I'm always having deep conversations with my friends, like, oh, what could we do to change this? Why is this happening? What is, yeah, our children wasn't like that. Our decision making wasn't like that. Why are they choosing this path? So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to kind of take looks at different stories, such as, we're going to tune back in and check in with this whole David thing. We're going to talk about Donald Wooten. We're going to talk about a few people. But let me get to the screen and let's make it happen, right? So the first story. Oh my God. Have y'all heard of Donald Wooten? Shout out to Maybach Mel for bringing this to my attention, because, oh my goodness, I thought the story I heard about Barcavius was heartbreaking. But to hear this about Donald Wooten, I was like, Donald Wooten, why isn't this all over the news? Why isn't this everywhere? Because I've never heard of this. I never heard of it. What's up, Maybach? So let me put this information up here. Thank you for the information. Let me put it up here. So Donald Wooten, right? Very well could be my child, probably could be your child, right? 27 years old, sentenced to 60 years in prison. You know what? Let me drop the link, because I know Maybach had some stuff he wanted to say. He's going to serve 60 years in prison, right? After reportedly can I even say that word? He pow his pregnant girlfriend in the head, leaving her at a park because she refused to terminate her pregnancy. But guess what, y'all? God is good. The creator is good. The universe is good. Whatever you believe in is good. Miraculously, both the woman and her baby survived. So I dropped the link in the comment if anybody want to come up and discuss this case. The baby and them survived. Now, I think she was it 6 months or two? It was a couple of months. She was actually in the hospital. And Mr. Donald, after shooting her and leaving her, words are too big. Oh, okay. Oh Lord, the words are too big. Okay, let me put him back up on the screen. All right. You must be watching it from the small space. You can watch it on YouTube and on your reels too. So, but I'm putting Donald back on the screen. So she actually survived the ordeal. And Mr. Donald Wooten, while this girl was sitting there surviving, struggling, that baby struggling, he was just walking around like it ain't happened. I'm like, yo, what's up with this dude? You did you even care? And so I'm thinking about, back in the day, because again, I'm trying to rationalize why would this child do this? Trying to rationalize it. Because I know, and it's not going to sound good. And I said this to someone. This is not going to sound good, what I'm about to say. And y'all, please feel free to comment in the chat and let me know, have you heard about this case and what your thoughts are? But wouldn't it have been better if Donald would have chose to be a deadbeat instead of actually powing this girl in the head because he didn't want to have a baby? Wouldn't that be more rational? Why would you want to take away someone's chance of a life, their future, over you being afraid that maybe, your future might change or something might happen in your life? Sometimes it's just better to just walk away. And I just, when I read this and when I saw the brief little video, because again, it's not a lot of information out on this, and I encourage you to look up Donald Wooten because it's kind of being slipped under the rug. I don't see, it's not a lot of information. I wanted to play a video, but it's just not. Um, I just don't understand why. Why? Maybach said he in prison forever now, him and his Jergens. Well, look, I'm glad that she survived and the baby survived. I'm sorry. I just don't understand why he would do this. I don't even understand the thought process. In the 70s and prior, the man just would pack up and leave. What would possess you to shoot somebody because, I'm sorry, pow someone in the head because they ultimately decided to have their child? I mean, at that point, if you don't want to be involved, that should have been one of those it's none of my business things now, and let me scoot boot along. What happened? Like the song, Papa was a Rolling Stone. Why he ain't just roll his, what, to another city? I think this was a bit extreme. And again, it just makes me wonder what in the he's is going on in these men's minds. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I heard another case about this, another situation about this case. Just bizarre. You are on the live, Mel.
What's up?
No, this case, you a man. You can help me understand because as a woman, I don't get it.
Listen, I'm not no psychologist, man. I can't, just because I'm a man, don't mean I'm getting in these people's heads. This dude's a fool. I did a live talking about it, but I deleted it because I didn't do a good job. But anyways, I feel like there must have not been a conversation had at the beginning when they met each other. How, we're from an era where you really got to know somebody. First name, last name, middle name, nicknames, all of that good stuff, right? Favorite color, least favorite color, favorite food. So the point I'm making is, so they never asked each other, like, hey, do you want children? Because I want children. I want to be married. Do you want to get married? You see what I'm saying? Because I don't know. Like I said, is homie, she's still laying down with him? And is he saying, well, I'm going to lay down with her and my pullout game is going to be so impeccable that, she's not going to get pregnant at all? You know what I'm saying? Maybe did he wear a condom? The condom broke. She's got pregnant and she tells him, because to me, again, to plan out a whole date, take this woman out to the movies. After the movies, say, let's go take a walk in the park. And then,
pop her twice in the head or whatever it was, and then you thought you got away, you know what I'm saying? And then thank goodness somebody happened to be walking by and they see her there, laying there lifeless, and called the ambulance. They saved her and the baby. You know what I mean? And then you get a knock on your door. Now you going to jail. Like I said, him and Jurgens is going to be best friends because you ain't getting no poom poom in there. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're going to be, taking it from a man or a man's taking yours. You know what I'm saying? All over because you didn't want to have a child. Like, listen, man, I don't listen. I know guys that ain't trying to have no children. I know women that ain't trying to have no children, but they're not going to that extent. You know what I'm saying? To unalive someone, and go to prison for the rest of their lives. Like, that is crazy. Is there something that we don't know that they didn't put out there? Because again, I'm trying to figure it out, but ain't much to figure out. Because again, I know a bunch of homies that ain't got no children, don't want to have children. You know what I mean? But they're not gonna. I know for a fact they're not going to go to that extent to try to unalive someone just because of a child. So I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's crazy.
Um, Makes you wonder about this whole mental health. You know, it makes me wonder about his parents. I don't know what his family structure was, but you gotta kind of know something is not right with your child, right? You got to something.
Listen, I just want to cut you off. I want to disagree. You know how I am. Doesn't mean that we're going to be up here going back and forth or having a big brutal argument. But I don't want to use mental health on every fucking case. Like, that's a lot of us that's doing that too. We hear these something crazy like this. First thing somebody want to say is, "Oh, maybe it's because of mental health." Listen, man. Um, there's a lot of people smoking sprayed weed out here. And I kind of, broke it down to you a little bit that are smoking Delta 8. This is why it was legalized state-wise. Still not on the federal level, but state-wise, it was legalized in a lot of states. Delta 8 is something that it's like having GMO processed food, right? The
Mm,
real Delta that gets people high is Delta number 9. Now, I'm certified. I went
mm.
to school for this. So I know exactly what I'm talking about. Do I know everything? No, I do not. So I won't come up here and make a mockery of myself. But Delta number 8 was given the dispensaries, the growers were given authority by the government to put that in. That's so when you hear spray weed, like I told you, go research that. You'll see that Queen's Flip did a documentary about, not a documentary but a video alive about this, where he went to Brownsville talking to the youngins and was like, yo, what's this thing about the sprayed weed that I'm hearing? And they know about it, they talk about it. The bud that back then that we smoked, you would be high and comatose for hours, right? That's the real THC that plays on your psychosis and stuff like that. Now they are using synthetic, a bunch of chemicals. So I'm not speaking for this man. I'm not making no excuse for him. But I'm saying
Mhm.
when you putting substance in your body, you see what I'm saying? They can be a form of, you doing something and not knowing what you're doing. It's kind of like how people think they can drink a bottle of Don Julio and get behind the wheel and drive normal. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But then not only you putting yourself at risk, but you putting other people's lives at risk. You see what I'm saying? So again, I'm not saying that he can't possibly have a mental problem. I'm just saying, like, I hear that too much. When we hear these cases, somebody's quick to say, "Oh, it's mental health. It's mental." Nah, a lot of these motherfuckers just don't have no soul. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't is out here, they don't have no heart. They're not human. I know the true meaning of human means to be monster, whatever. Well, they're not, beings. They don't have a soul, they don't have a spirit, they don't have a heart, you know.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
just,
So
go ahead.
I could go with that, right? But
Hmm.
even then, as a parent raising this child, you wouldn't
Hmm.
know something's kind of different. And I'm not putting it off because again, I'm with you. Not
Hmm.
every case is mental health. Not
Right.
everything is noticeable, by parents. But it just makes me wonder, do we not know when our children is not exactly right?
Oh yeah. Correct. I mean, yeah,
right in the
you should be
head.
paying attention. Yeah, you should be paying attention. I mean, I know out here, where I'm at, when your child is born, there's certain things, there's processes like, oh, when the child is 1 years old, there's certain tests they start running. You know what I mean, on the child to make sure they're not autistic, to make sure, there's all their functions is normal. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't know how Atlanta or Georgia is or whatever. I don't know this man's background. I don't know who his parents were or are. You see what I'm saying? So I don't want to blame it on nobody because I know a lot of times it's like, oh, children are reflections of their parents, but this is a grown man who's 27. This ain't an 18-year-old, 14-year-old that performed this act. So I don't want to put too much off on the mother, and stuff like that. This man knew exactly what he was doing because he planned this. So that tells me all his functions are there. You know what I mean? For all we know, he's not on document saying he's on the spectrum. He had some loose screws. He's on meds. You know what I mean? I mean that would take for you or I or whoever's interested into finding these things out to do their research and their homework on that. You know what I mean? I'm no investigator. I'm not going to get paid for it, so I'm not going to look that deep into it. But again, when I heard it, I thought it was crazy too. Yeah, I just thought it was crazy. But we have a lot of these things happening. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I know you wanted to say something.
Interested enough, right? I just want to put this out here.
Hmm.
Not all mental health diseases can be found when you're, a
Hmm.
child. Some
Yeah.
stuff take onset once you become an adult. And I think,
Correct.
in our culture, we have this thing once the person turns 18, they're an
Hmm.
adult. They're no longer our
Yeah. Well,
responsibility.
I get
We
what you're
don't
saying.
have
According to the
to
states. Yeah.
check
Yeah.
into them. Yeah, but we
Correct.
do,
Yeah.
and just to be transparent, my son is schizophrenic. So imagine if I had that mentality where my child is 18 and I don't have to check in with him. I could just, he's an adult. He'll
Yeah.
go out there
Exactly.
and figure it out himself,
Yeah. It
you
don't even make.
know.
Yeah. It
Right.
don't make sense. Correct.
So that's why I say I question a lot of different things when it comes to the way we raise our children, the way they view themselves, because they
Hmm.
learned that from us. Um, that could have possibly been my son. My son could have possibly been out there had I not picked up on him and got him the help he needed and organized something like this. Got somebody pregnant. He's schizophrenic. One of them voices done kicked in and said, "Listen, let's kill this. You know what? Let's get
Okay.
her out into a park and we gonna pow pow her in the head because we don't want to do this."
Yeah.
And then another voice clicked back in later. So that's why I'm saying, I don't want to count it out. Me looking at this guy, I'm looking in his eyes.
Yeah.
Something just doesn't, it
And
just
and
could
now
be
let
the
me clear this
picture.
too. I don't think you're wrong for thinking that way too and thinking that way. I'm just saying, it wasn't really towards you. It's just a lot of people. I'll see a lot of videos being made of things like this, and then a lot of people are throwing out mental health, mental health, mental health. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a common
Yeah.
thing now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like growing up, I didn't know what no ADD was. I didn't know a lot of this stuff now. It's more, we
It didn't
privy to it.
exist when
Yeah,
we were
exactly.
younger.
Correct, correct. You know what I mean? You couldn't even tell your parents that you were tired as a child or a kid. They look at you and say, tired from what? You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. Now, a lot of things are more accepted now or spoken upon. You know what I mean? There's this type of organization for this. You're like, what? Man, where was that when I was growing up? We didn't have none of that. Just like I said plenty of times before, me coaching, one of the things that I was reading on the application to be a coach was like, yo, no, you can't speak to these children a certain way. It's going to be considered verbal abuse. And I'm like, huh? So I can't use
Yes.
it, yeah. So if this kid is on the chunky side, I can't say he's fat. It's like, yo, no lie. There was a whole guy, what you call it, a pamphlet we was given, handbook on what we can and can't say, what we can and can't do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, so having them run on a day that we're supposed to be outside running, but because it might be a little bit of humid, that will be
Mhm.
considered abuse. And I'm like, but I survived that growing up when I wanted to make the basketball team or the football team. They had us running outside on hot days.
Yeah,
You see what
yeah,
I'm
the
saying?
culture
So
is definitely, I agree
yeah,
with you. The culture is definitely
yeah, man.
different. Like,
Like
no, we didn't use the word fat, but it was always insinuated by the coaches and the teachers that you needed to
yeah,
perform these certain things because you're a
correct.
little bit
It wasn't like they
hefty.
was correct. It wasn't like they was trying to abuse you. It was for motivation. You know what I'm saying? Like we got the verbal lashing, whether it was from our parents. And listen, for those who don't know, growing up Haitian, man, listen, it's brutal. They raise you to make you be able to handle the outside world. And what I mean is, whatever your handicap is, whatever your disability is, whatever your you got big ears, they're gonna nickname you, hey, there goes big ears. You see what I'm saying? Like you get that from the Caribbean folks. Now I can't speak for nobody else. I'm just talking about like in my culture, we do that with one another. Where there's cousins that's talking to you like that, you got an uncle with a big nose, and you be like, yo, that's big nose Uncle Rob. You see what I'm saying? Like, so when you go outside and somebody's trying to crack jokes on you, it doesn't even affect you because you were raised a certain way. You know what I'm saying? To be
Right,
tough and not to be in your feelings and your emotions and stuff. But again,
right.
nowadays, if you do that now, they're gonna put cuffs on you as a
Not to
parent.
say, hold on,
Hmm.
disclaimer, not to say the way we were raised was right, but it was
Yeah.
different and we survived it. Like, I know
Yeah.
growing up,
Correct.
anxiety didn't exist. We
Correct.
couldn't have no damn anxiety
Yeah, there
for
was no.
none
I
of
never
those
knew what that
things.
was. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, nobody
Yeah,
knew. There was no anxiety. There was no, like I said, there was no stress. There was no depression. If they were that, I never heard these words. So a lot of these words is new to me now. You know what I'm saying? But growing up in the 80s, I never heard these type of words. Unless I might have been watching a program that said that, but for the most part, I did not hear these words. You know, I
yeah,
did not. So again.
I didn't either. So right now I'm about to turn off some of these channels. If you're interested in watching the rest of the show, please go to any of my YouTube channels. Did you want me to turn your channel on, Mel, or you good?
I
Because
mean, it's
this
fine.
is
You didn't turn it on, so nah, it's good. You could just keep
okay.
it. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, but but this guy right here, I'm looking. It said this guy. I'm looking at more information on here. Now, if you're
Mhm.
just tuning in, this happened in Atlanta in 2023. I'm not sure if they had all of those smoke shops and weed shops out at that time. Isn't
Well,
that like
Atlanta is still
fairly
banned. It's
recent?
still illegal. It's still illegal in Atlanta.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's illegal in
Okay.
Atlanta. Yeah.
So he, yeah, he is very methodical. He asked a relative to wipe his cell phone so the police wouldn't be able to retrieve data or messages.
Listen to this
um
fool. He's
yeah,
dumb.
because he had an argument with her via text message
Hmm.
prior to him doing what he
Yeah,
did.
so he probably had some terrorist threats on there, is
Oh,
what they
it's
calling it.
yeah. He
Yeah.
also asked someone to get gun and, and bullets from his
Okay, so yeah,
apartment.
so this is what I'm saying. He's perfectly sane. Ain't nothing wrong with that man. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with him. Like I said, well, I don't feel too bad. I do not feel bad for him. Like I said, he gonna get very acquainted with his new girlfriend named Jurgens or Bubba. You know what I mean?
No.
Somebody. Yeah. Bubba,
Oh,
Jurgens, whoever. Uh-huh.
but you know what? Another twist to this, right? What
Mm.
if okay, so I always think alternative lifestyle. Have we ever just stopped to think, sometimes people might not know exactly who they are, and maybe this was devastating. Maybe he could have actually been a part of the community and chose to have this decision because he wasn't ready to be a parent, be with a woman, and he had a self-actualization moment and said, I'm gay. So we don't know. Crime, would that be crimes of passion or something like that? So we don't know. I would love to hear his side. I can't wait. Maybe somebody will write a book or something. Cause
Either
I just
which
want
way,
to
man,
know.
he ain't getting no more poom poom. That's all I know.
He
Ain't
may
no
not
more
want none.
ain't no more poom poom for him. You know what I mean? So and again, in certain places, men that perform these type of crimes, or acts towards women, you're gonna have some problems on your hand when you go behind bars. You know what I'm saying? Men don't like shit like that. Domestic stuff. You trying to unalive a female because of this and that. Oh yeah, they gonna see how tough you are because there's no weapons there. You know what I mean? There ain't no weapons there. I mean, you could create one, you can make one, but I'm just saying, there's no guns behind bars. This is what I'm just saying. So
Mm,
yeah. So either which
I,
way, man, he deserves what he got. I still think that I thought 60 years. I thought he would have got more than that. But like I
that's a
said,
lot.
I think if they both ended up being unalived, then he probably would have definitely got double murder. For the baby and
Oh,
her. Yeah, but remember, since they lived, you know what I mean? They lived. So they got saved. So I think that's why they gave him 60. Either which way, right? Let's just say he does the 60 years and he's alive. He's gonna be 87 when he gets out. He's 27 now. He got 60 years.
I
You know what I
don't think he
mean?
gonna make that
I mean,
87.
listen. Listen. You don't know. You never know. You know what I'm saying? You never know. You never know.
Well,
He might.
I
He
pray.
probably make it. You don't know.
No, no, I pray. But that is that again. This is senseless. I don't understand it.
Yeah. They're not
you
gonna let him
know.
out. I know that. He could appeal it all he want. They ain't gonna let his ass out. You know what I mean? Because of what he did. And whoever the guy was who walked by, the park or was walking in the park at that specific time. See, stuff like that, I look at like, yo, that's not a coinky dink. You know what I mean? Like whether we want to believe in a higher being, God, whatever, the Most High, that man was meant to be walking at that specific time. Because imagine if that man did not walk there. Let's just say he was 2 hours later. She would have, you know
Mm,
what I mean? She
yeah.
would have been gone. She would have been gone, and the
Yes.
baby would have been gone. So you know that's how I look
That's
at things like
true.
that. Yeah. So that guy is like a miracle for that female. You know.
Yeah, that's true. I can agree with that. All right. Well, I'm going to go off into the next
Okay.
what the F is wrong with our kids.
Mhm.
And we're gonna talk about Marcavius because I now that okay, I could go that maybe this is not mental health, but that Marcavius thing that's some sick mental health stuff. But
What's
I'm
that?
gonna get into I'm gonna play a whole video. You're gonna
Okay.
see for yourself.
All
But
right.
let me get
Give me
into
a
this
minute.
next music video and all of that. But yeah, this senseless, no reason. Our kids, what is going on with them?
I can read your aura. Get that skill from my mama. And I can make you better, boy. Take this risk if you wanna.
Tap into Hop the Series. So, Hop the Series, as I told you at the top of the show, will be returning to House of Peach. So, if you're interested in being a guest, you have to be a female entrepreneur. Doesn't matter how small or big your business is. Go to houseofpeach.org. I do have previous episodes of female entrepreneurs. You have to download the House of Peach mobile app. They go to QR code or just go to houseofpeach.org. All the information needed, the scheduling information, how to watch the videos is all there. But Hop is returning, and yours truly will be the host. I'm looking at the show being Wednesdays at 8 p.m. All right, so let me get into the next indie music artist, right? This is a brand new video. Y'all let me know in the chat what y'all think should it be added to the Peach Radio Show. Have y'all noticed I've been playing newer music every week? I'm always adding, so let me know. Um, yeah, and when we come back, I will be talking about Marcavius. This is going to be something. That case is something. Stay tuned.
Crazy.
Peach ENT.
That's my ish.
If you control someone's perception, you control their actions, which come from perceptions. And that's the idea. And all these things, interestingly, all those news organisations, what are they doing? They're telling people what to think. And the other thing is...
Yeah, every man want heaven, but no man want die. So I'm selling soul at the crossroads at midnight. I'm sure I'm all the ways that made the lightning strike twice in the same place. It's their space, money for life. The bargain they propose a mine and they grip the price. It's loaded like a weapon when you rolling with they dice. I'm calling what you wanna, gonna end in sacrifice. Like the witches coming through on the broom with the brew, make me go. In all these lies we trust, 1 + 1 equals us. There's a signal coming through, changing all our points of view. Feels like I'm going back. I don't know if I can last. All my life I know subtract. All we make, they take back. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Feel like I got two left shoes. Tripping on the feelings that I have. And I'm stuck with my bad math. And we can't count on nobody to come through and save us. What is we doing? We gotta be the bravest to take it to the next level of conversation, debating, open up innovation. This is a message to America. It is a message from Americans. Know the violence that can you standing on the living yam, living yam, living yam, living yam, living yam. In the land of the desolated and decimated and desecrated, it's mental enslavement inside of our nation. We are the world's most hated, same time most celebrated. An immigrant America, founded by immigrants, blinded by ignorance, programmed for nonsense by corporate conglomerates. Don't trust what they promising, 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 promising.
Humanity is living a fake sense of self.
Feels like I'm going mad. I don't know if I can last. All my life I know subtract. All we make, they take back. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Feel like I got two left shoes. Tripping on the feelings that I have. And I'm stuck with my bad math. Feels like I'm going mad. I don't know if I can last. All my life I know subtract. All we make, they take back. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Feel like I got two left shoes. Tripping on the feelings that I have. And I'm stuck with my bad math.
Peach ENT.
A gruesome and heartbreaking story tonight out of Barber County. The family of a missing 18-year-old says after searching for him for days, they made a horrifying discovery in the woods.
WDHN's Elizabeth White has more for us tonight, and we do want to warn you the details in this story are disturbing.
But they got to pay all I'm going to pay. Everybody that's involved, I want them to pay for my son. Everybody that's involved, go pay for my son. Everybody that's involved, go pay for my son. Everybody.
A mother's grief is tangible. The pain, unthinkable. For 5 days, Marcavius Rump's family searched for the missing 18-year-old after they say he was last seen Thursday, May 7th, getting into a car with an acquaintance. Then came disturbing information from the community. Fearing he had been badly hurt, the family launched their own search over Mother's Day weekend.
I looked for 5 days for my son with no help from the Eufaula Police Department. No help. Me and my family in the rain On Mother Days, I walked around through woods.
Then Monday, in a muddy wooded area off of White Oak Church Road, their search ended in horror.
They basically burnt my baby, shot my baby, burnt them up and chopped them up.
And you were the one that found?
Yes.
How does a father deal with that?
I'm dealing with it best I can right now.
Tuesday, investigators were back in the woods searching for evidence as the hunt for a killer or killers continues. The family does believe someone known to Markavius is responsible, but police so far have not named a suspect. Markavius had just earned his GED and planned to become a welder, a young life cut tragically short.
This investigation is still active as authorities search for answers. If you have any information regarding this case, please contact the Eufaula Police Department, and we'll continue to bring you any and all updates, both on air and online here at WDAJ.
We have a new development in a story we've been following here in WRBL News 3. A 19-year-old Eufaula man is facing multiple charges after investigators identified remains found earlier this month as a missing Eufaula resident. Eufaula police say the Alabama Department of Forensic Sciences has positively identified the remains recovered back on May 11th as Markavius Rumpf Jr. According to police, 19-year-old Josiah Isaiah McKinney of Eufaula was arrested in connection with the case. He is charged with murder, abuse of a corpse, and tampering with physical evidence. This is an ongoing investigation.
This case, oh my God. So if you are just tuning in, we are in the middle of the show. Just watched the video about Markavius Rumpf. He is from Alabama. I think it's Eufaula. I have never heard of Eufaula, Alabama, but I've never been to Alabama. And I don't think I want to go. But anyway, I think it was May 6th. He went missing. He left his home. He got into a black, I don't know. I've listened to several stories. A black, I think it was a car, and then it was a black SUV. I'm not too sure at this point, but his body, he disappeared. His family reported it to the police. Now the police were cooperative. I guess they assumed because he was a teenager that it was his right to just disappear, but his mom did not believe that that was the case. So her and the dad formed a search party and found him on the property within property limits of one of his friends. Now this is what f's me up about this case. He was tortured, like, I can't. They killed this boy, well, unalived him. Then they turned around and cut him up, I believe, and then they burned him. And I don't know about you, but this just seems too deranged for me. When I heard the case and I did my research, I am not going to lie. I prayed and I prayed and I prayed that, number one, that this baby was still alive, and maybe he had a run in with one of his friends, or he would pop up. And then once I realized what happened, I was thinking, first thought that came to my mind was maybe that this was some type of organ theft situation where because he's in Alabama, and I'm not sure if Alabama is like North Carolina. I know my family, some of them that have these properties that are huge, so you really don't know what's going on within the vicinity of it. Anything could happen and no one would know. So I assume he was with his friend and he probably left, and it was something that happened to him. Yeah, Mel said a hate crime. But I was praying that it was something like that, organ theft, because of the mutilation of the body and the burning and the torturing and then burying him. I'm thinking that somebody took his heart, his liver or something. But But no, just the idea of his friend, the possibility of him leaving with his friend and his friend and him having some type of altercation, and then to cover up the crime, they did all of this. This is a lot. Um let me know what y'all think in the comments about this case. It's just, again, it goes back to the topic. What is going on with our kids? Why are their minds thinking like this? What happened to a time where you can have a disagreement with your bestie, or somebody that you socialize with, or acquaintance, and then maybe y'all had a little fisticuffs and fights. Maybe I even settle for a little pow pow. But to go to the extremes of mutilating the body, burning him, and then throwing him in a grave, that's a bit much. And then it leave, at first, the whole thing with the police, I thought they had something to do with it because they wouldn't search for him. But that's just, them not even giving a shit about the black body. Our lives don't matter. But I don't know. If you have any thoughts about this case, please drop it in the comment section. Again, as usual, I like to always find out what the perspective is of the killer. I really would like to know, just simply why. What was going through your mind? What could have happened that was so bad? What's in your background that made you behave like this? Now, I know I was listening to some other podcasts, and apparently the parents of, I can't even remember the guy's name that they picked up. They knew that Marcavius was at their house, and they agreed to say that he left or whatever. So I'm kind of thinking that maybe the parents of his friend, and let me look up this guy's name. Let me see what his name is, because I just, again, this just it's disgusting. This is disgusting. It reminds me of that freaking David thing. And it just goes back to say, what is going on with our kids? Are we not recognizing a issue in our communities? Are we contributing to whatever it is that's making their minds function this way? See, Marcavius Rump arrest. Let me see what the guy's name is. Forgive me because I am still tired. Suspect in the Marcavius Rump case. No, it was the friend that he left with. Now they're not sure if he had a black car or a black SUV. There, his name is Josiah. Josiah Isaiah McKinney. And they weren't even 20 years old. All right, so let me read this. That Josiah is 19 and Marcavius was only 18. All right, so it says Rump went missing on May 6, 2026. And then 5 days later, the family found him brutalized, human remains in a wooded area, which was not too far from Isaiah's or Josiah's family's land, not too far from their land. Wow. Damn. Our babies, our babies, our babies. All right, so let me tell y'all exactly what he did to his friend. Okay, so basically, and I don't care what nobody say, he couldn't have did this alone. I believe his parents possibly could have helped him. All right, so it says his parents previously told Rump had, okay, no, that was his parents, Rump's parents. Okay, so they dismembered him, they burned him, and then they went to a cemetery, and there was an open grave. I guess someone was going to be buried, and they put him there, I think. This is crazy. So if you haven't heard about this case, please take a look at the Marcavius Rump case. I see a lot of y'all looking at me. I don't see you typing in the chat. So if you can, if you want to, a little later, put something in the chat. If you never heard of the case, look it up. Again, like I said within the first hour, as parents, I am a mother of a schizophrenic child. We have to be a little bit more mindful and pay attention to the states of mind of our children, young and older. There are diseases that can onset at the age of 16 and 17. That's normally where you see schizophrenia. That's normally where you start to see bipolarism show up more boldly, where you can actually catch it. Like a lot of times when children are young, you just think that, they're kids, they're just going through something. But when they're adults, you could kind of see where they're chemically not balanced. So we got to start paying attention. And again, when it comes to these foods and things of that nature, I know, again, being a 70s baby, most of the time I ate farm fresh. We know that these foods have chemicals in it. We know some of these spaces we eat from, like McDonald's, is not even real meat and all of the things. And I'm guilty of it myself right now. I don't cook as much, but we have to start taking the time out and creating meals for our families. That way you can control what's being placed in these foods. Now, earlier Maybach mentioned that I don't know because I'm not a weed smoker, so I have no idea what's being placed in it. And I heard it from other advocates in Delaware that people are, the way they're growing the weed, the chemicals, the pesticides is just not good, and it's messing up people's body chemistry. So I just, we got to be more, like I said, mindful, because our children, I don't understand this generation. I truly don't. It's like they're going to the extreme ends for no reason. You know, if you don't want a baby, walk away. You can't convince the woman to not to have an abortion. Walk away. Simple. Previous generations have done it. Ladies, if the man doesn't want to have the baby, fine. You have to make a decision for yourself. I'm pregnant. I'm deciding to keep it. I got decisions to make to raise this child. I can't force anyone. We can't never control anyone um to just do anything that we want. We have to make decisions for ourselves, informed decisions for ourselves. You know, in the case of Marcavius, if you don't want to be friends with somebody or y'all have a disagreement, decide not to be friends. If it gets too deep, decide, if you need to fight it out, fight it out. But to dismember, burn someone, burn shit, they from what I'm hearing, the body was so dismembered and mutilated from the burning and the chopping up. They had a hard time even trying to figure out if that was even Marcavius. So just stop. Don't deal with a person. Somebody seems off. Don't deal with them. I often say you can pick up people's emotions. Mel calls it vibes. Pay attention to the vibe. If the vibe is off, don't go any space with this person, because this is just becoming too much. And for me, I think, and I don't I don't want to place blame on families, but I do believe that families, back in the day were the reasons why a lot of things weren't happening, because family was family and we kept up with each other and we knew who had the issues and we tried to work with them, even if, even before we had all these mental health resources. We knew how to handle and deal with things. All right. So that was the Marcavius Rumpf case. Please check it out. Look it up. Um, I'm just like I said, I'm surprised a lot of these things aren't blasted all over the news. When you turn on the news, it's like you get minor stories about I don't want to say black because some of y'all don't consider yourself that, but our community, us. But then you'll see stupid shit like Trump building a freaking wrestling ring at the White House, something that just is meaningless. But you don't see too many of these stories. Like, the other case prior to the Marcavius case that we talked about, Donald Wooten, I could barely find a video. And you could barely see it being talked about on the news. So, but anywho, pay attention to your kids, family. Watch them, get them the help. I'm gonna play the next music video. And y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Let me know what y'all think in the comments about the past video, Bad Math by Talib. Should it go on the Peach Radio Show? Should any of these be removed from the Peach Radio Show or added? Let me know. Let me get into the next music video.
We're going to look at what we call suggestibility.
The male-female dynamic. There's actually another way of thinking.
Oh, wow. Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Check out Beyond the Mind, produced by Peach ENT, Fridays at 8.
Crazy.
Peach ENT.
That's my ish.
Just to make this, just to make this, just to make this.
Fire.
I turn it up when I get on the beat, it be sliding, you know how it's going down. I get to the top, but I ain't acting funny. 1 minute you up, then you can't go down. I fuck it up, then I get it right back. You know how I come, I don't play around. Don't be in the mix, don't fuck with that bitch. She moving her lips, but don't make a sound. She don't want no beef, cause I'm bringing that heat and I'm holding the crown, better bow down. They fucking with me, cause they know if I blow, then I'm going on tour with the whole town. When I come to your city, I'm looking for gas, matter of fact, I'ma need me a whole pound. Do it for the fam, cause I wanna be rich, you just want the clout, now how that sound. I swear I was down for a bit, I thank God that I'm back, I was lost, but now I'm found. You won't catch me out and about, cause I feel like they after me, that's why I be homebound. And don't give a fuck who you with, you ain't making no noise, coming down when I'm round. Nah, I don't fuck with you goofy, so they making me pack shit and trash, you look like clowns. Boy stuff and got a bad bitch, made him tell me where his stash is. Found the keys, had to grab him, foreign whip, almost crashed it. Buy some chains to get my jewels up, record a track and make a cool cut. Hit the butt cause I don't do much, candy trash when you hear such. Just in the game, I ain't playing fair. Nice brows but they don't care. Talk shit, all they do is stare. Think I care, I don't really care. Rule number 1, I'm never number 2. Rule number 2, always pay your due. Rule number 3, don't ever come for me. Rule number 5, I ain't going live. Cool, calm, collected, so I ain't never tripping. I be on my shit, so I ain't never slipping. Got a couple niggas, I be really pimping. Big E, fuck opposition. I got the trees on trees, talking that green on green. Niggas catch homies on homies. I'm talking about body for body. Like fuck is you talking about? I run up in your mouth. I see some haters and it's time to point them out. Bitches is ops, they fuck the whole team. They ain't get no money, no cheddar, no cream. They rap like they pussy, but pussy be trash. No beauty, no brains, just one of my ass. I rap the rack, but I ain't from the shop. Talking at 8, that circle that high. I'm getting money, stacking dough, that's for sure. She thinks she a wife, she really a hoe. I'm on my business and I stay out the way and never play around wherever I lay. Dollar signs, the only thing that I chase. That's on the dummy like I'm in a race. Dollar signs, the only thing that I chase. That's on the dummy like I'm in a race. That when I get on the beat, it be sliding, you know how it's going down. I get to the top, but I ain't acting funny. 1 minute you up, then you can't go down. I fuck it up, then I get it right back. You know how I come, I don't play around. Don't be in the mix, don't fuck with that bitch. She moving her lips, but don't make a sound. She don't want no beef, cause I'm bringing that heat and I'm holding the crown, better bow down. They fucking with me, cause they know if I blow, then I'm going on tour with the whole town. When I come to your city, I'm looking for gas, matter of fact, I'ma need me a whole pound. Do it for the fam, cause I wanna be rich. You just want the clout, now how that sound.
Up and we are back. That was KD. How it sound? Shout out to Delaware for all the awesome indie music. Thank you for supporting me in my endeavors and giving me permission to actually stream your music videos. So of course y'all know who this is. The guy that got our new year kicked off with the mania. That is your friend David. David. I don't know. For some reason, why does the Marcavius case give me that David feel like Josiah heard about the David case and said, you know what, let me, try my own form of this and let me see if I can get in the news. I don't know. But anyway, I'm sure everyone by now has heard about David, charged with murdering, well, unaliving Celeste Rivas. She was only 14 years old. And the way her cause of death was very brutal. But I'm not going to get into that. I just had to bring him up because, again, it ties right on in with the topic. What the is wrong with our children? What was going on with David that possessed him to do exactly what he did to Celeste? He actually chopped her up. I believe, he ordered a burn cage and tried to burn her. Again, I'm not laughing at what happened. It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable the things that these children are doing, to to avoid dealing with the situations that they place themselves in. So now it's believed that David did all of this, mutilated Celeste's body because he was, I believe, maybe 23 years old, David was, and she was only 14. So essentially that is child molestation. I could say here, then we can go on, call David a map. He was a map. And so his music career was taken off and he didn't want anyone to kind of know about him and Celeste. Now allegedly on the YouTube streets, Celeste was also pregnant. So it's just sad. It's sad what these children are doing to just avoid responsibility. I don't want to get into this case. If you can hear it in my voice, it really disgusts me. Um, and I'll say it again, it just makes me wonder about the families of these people. Like even in the Celeste case, how does a child's 14 years old have the privileges or could just disappear the way, like in order for them to have a relationship where he had time to mutilate her body and all of the things, in order for them to have a relationship where he had time to impregnate this girl, in order for them to have a relationship that was even a viable one where she and her mom believed that it was a serious one, where were her parents? Where were her parents? you know and it just goes back to, like I was saying earlier, I guess it's a generational thing. When I was Celeste's age, I didn't have those freedoms to be able to have a 20 something year old boyfriend, to go to his house, to deal with him, to disappear with him, um to travel with him. I didn't have those privileges, you know. The same with David. When I got in my 20s, my parents and them was still checking in on me. They was still parenting, because at the end of the day, I know, at least in my mind, the older you get doesn't mean that you stop being a parent. I'm almost halfway 100, right? I have children and I still parent my children. I still engage. I still keep an eye on them. I still make sure that everything is right and exact. And if something is not right and exact, I recommend for the ones that are stable minded and I keep an eye on them. And the ones that is not stable minded, I keep getting the resources and everything that's needed. Um So I know everybody probably is going to watch this live and say, okay, sis, you are reaching and stretching. This could happen. Mel said it's maybe not a mental health thing, but again, it all goes back to, for me, a family thing. A family thing, checking in, making sure our children is safe and they're not harming others. I have been on here for a long time. I hope that everyone, if you never heard of these cases, you go ahead, you look them up. Um, Damn, now that I'm thinking about it, this damn David case seemed like a combination of both of the other cases. Um, if anything from watching all of this, take some time today. Sit down with your babies if you can. If not, give them a call, see where their headspace is. Find out, are they going through something? Are they living in a depressive state? Um, just check in with them. Check in with your children. Check in and see if they need something. Check in to see if they having any type of difficulty or any hardships. You know, it's not just about their mental health. It's about making sure we know what's going on in their lives, that we can intervene if they need us. You know, I would hate to be on the other side of a situation like this. I would hate to be the parents of Celeste and Marcavius and that lady that got shot. Well, I'm sorry, I keep saying shot. Powed in the head. I would hate to be the parents on that side, but I think I would be even more upset if I were the parents of these children committing these crimes. I would feel like a failure. I would feel like it's something that I missed. So, again, check in with your children. Y'all have a fabulous Saturday. Please share this live. Forgive me for being a little bit tired. um, but yeah, I will see y'all next Saturday at 12 p.m. ish. I'm not sure what my topic will be. I'm trying not to do anything as in depth and sad as this, like this week, but it has to be done. I figured I'll share because this stuff is not public information. A lot of it, with the exception of the David case. But either way, y'all enjoy y'all on Saturday. Now, 12 p.m. a.m., 12 a.m. ish talks. I'm unsure if I'm going to do that. If I do, I will put out advertisement for it. I had a bad night last night. Um, my halfway 100 knocked at my door, so I'm not sure. I will let you know. But tomorrow, tune in. I should have uploaded the latest Peach Radio show on my at Peach ENT Brands YouTube page. If you want to hear the audio only, please go to In the Mix Radio. Unsure how to listen? Just go to your search bar. I don't know if you use Safari, Google, whatever your search engine is. Type In the Mix Radio. It'll pop up. You'll have multiple ways to listen. Um, Also, I like to say, some good news. A girl that's doing well. I have a new assistant, so things will get a little bit more easier for me. Shout out to Ariana. Thank you for joining the Peach ENT team, and I look forward to working with you. So don't be surprised if y'all see her popping up, hosting some shows. Maybe she even may take care of the scheduling. You might encounter her, and she might schedule you for some of the shows. So if you see Ariana, hello, say hello, and be kind to her because she is one of the many young people that are our children that is doing well. So Dell State student. But yeah, I can talk all day. Let me go. Y'all have a fabulous Saturday. Check me out next Saturday at 12 p.m. ish. Stay tuned for all the advertisement on all the multiple social media pages. I am out. Y'all have a great day.
One night only, this is it. Drink up, get lit. Hey, one night only, this is it. I like that. Drink up, get lit. Hey, hey, hey. One night only, this is it.
Let's talk. Are you ready to chat? On a journey. He was lovely and are you ready to kick it? Don't play with me. Y'all at the next step because I'm almost halfway 100. Let's talk. On a journey to beautify myself because join in. I'm sharing old stories